Never have I ever slept with someone in a band.
Wait, what do I do if...
What's up, you guys? It's Katie Austin here, still in Nashville. Today is actually the day of the CMAs, and I am interviewing King Calaway today. So they're four guys, a part of the band. They're gonna come on in. They are kind of more like a new up-and-coming band, but they are absolutely amazing. They are about to go on tour. They just came out with an EP, and I just think it's so cool to be in Nashville and to sit down with a band that is like still, you know, so up and coming, and to kind of just like talk to them also before like fame hits. They're still like so cute. And so I'm just really excited to interview them. I have some good questions for them. And every time I'm here in Nashville, I kind of get a little nostalgic, especially, you know, around the CMAs, because if you guys didn't know this, I used to come to Nashville, I would say like 6 times a year, because my best friend used to live here, and I've always had like the funnest, kind of craziest, most random memories of all time. And I feel like every time I'm in Nashville, something kind of like really crazy or random happens to me. And so I just want to like touch on a few things that have happened to me. And I seriously don't really know how I get in these like sometimes positions like in my life. And I'm like, wait, did that just happen? And so like some of the things that have happened to me, I have worked out with Kip Moore at his gym. By the way, this is like all platonic. I don't want anyone to think I'm like just hoeing around out here in Nashville all the time. No, but Kip Moore like literally thought just, you know, I would be a great person to bring into his gym and work out with him. And so he like led me through a workout, which was so freaking awesome. He's such a good guy. I have gone backstage with Old Dominion and saw them perform here, which was so fun. I got to like bring all my friends and sit backstage at Old Dominion as well. And then I actually first got introduced to Nashville by a guy named Chase Rice, who he is a country singer. And he was actually my first modeling gig ever, like seriously ever. I was a sophomore in college, and I got a DM from his management team that was like, hey, we need a fitness model for Chase Rice's clothing brand. And I thought it was fake for absolutely months. I did not reply to them. And I was like, this is so weird. I don't know why this management company is DMing me. And then all of a sudden I hopped on the phone with them, like after probably 7 emails. And they're like, no, like we really want you. What's your rate? And I was like, what's my rate? I called my dad and I'm like, what's my rate for a day shoot in Nashville modeling activewear line? And I seriously, as a sophomore college, what am I, like 19 or 20 years old? So to me, like $200 is like a shit ton of money. And my dad was like, just like say $3,000. And I said $3,000 and they accepted it. They booked my tickets to Nashville. And it was seriously the most surreal experience. $3,000 to me was actually $1 million. I was like the coolest person ever. I like remember posting about it. And that was like my first ever trip to Nashville. So like ever since then, so many amazing things have happened to me. I got to go to the CMAs 2 years ago and actually do the red carpet and interview so many cool people. But one story in particular really sticks out to me. So when I was here in Nashville, I would say 2.5 years ago, I was out at a bar, and my friends and I were at a bar, and it was just me and 2 other girls, like my best friend of all time, Liza and Caroline. And we were at a bar and we were trying to get to the next bar. And so we walked outside, and then there was like this like really long limo standing outside. And you know, when you're kind of drunk and you're like, what's this limo? Like, so like we go up to the driver, like, where you guys going? And it's like all these people are like in the limo, like listening to 3 girls trying to get into their limo. Like, okay, who does that? Walk away, just call a freaking Uber. So like, where you guys going? And they're like, and like one of the guys was like, we're going to somewhere, Acme on Broadway if you want to come with. And we're like, yeah, like just, you know, not trying to be kidnapped, maybe Katie and my 2 girlfriends, like, come on, you're just gonna hop in a random person's limo and go to the next place. Okay, well, we hop in the limo. We're like, yeah, sounds fun. And we hop in the limo. I sit down, I look, and I'm like, fuck, this person looks really familiar. And I'm like, still thinking. And I'm like, hi, I'm Katie. And he's like, hi, my name is Jesse. And I'm like, Jesse. Turns out it was Jesse McCartney's limo. I'm sitting next to him, and I swear to you, he's very unrecognizable. And if you know, like, Jesse McCartney is anyone's middle school crush, You're a Beautiful Soul, like everything about him I was obsessed with. He was unrecognizable. I'm such an asshole. He was unrecognizable. And I was like trying to like stay cool. I was like, I'm literally sitting next to Jesse McCartney right now. And all of a sudden we get out of the limo, and I was like talking to him for a little bit, and we get out of the limo. I'm such an asshole. Stand up, and I'm wearing like my high heels. I used to wear like 3-inch stilettos back then to a night out in Nashville. Who the hell was I? And we get up, we stand up. I am towering over this man, and I'm 5'6", and all of a sudden we just like walk in the bar, we're all like dancing around Jesse McCartney, and all of a sudden we're like, what are we doing? Where are we? This is the weirdest experience ever. And I don't even know if this is funny to anyone else, but like, you know, when you meet someone else's, your childhood crush, or like someone that you have like looked up to for so long, but it like doesn't meet the expectations, like the hilariousness around it when you're with your best friends that you grew up with and you all listen to their music. I just thought that was like one of the funniest experiences ever, like getting in Jesse McCartney's random limo. Anyways, so freaking random. What a weird story. And so I'm really excited because tonight you never know what could happen. So make sure to follow along on what happens at the CMAs whenever this gets freaking released. But today I have King Calaway coming into the Nashville studio. And so let's bring him in. What's up, everybody? Or should I say, hey, y'all, because I've been saying hey, y'all, because we're in Nashville. You know, makes sense. I'm here with King Calaway, and I am so freaking excited. You guys just released a new EP, right? Yes. Midnight. Yeah. You guys have one of my favorite songs called World for Two. I'm obsessed with it. So thank you guys so much for being here. It's CMA Day. So
I know. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
I would love for you guys just to go around, because I know there's 4 of you guys, and just, you know, if we're listening on a podcast, kind of introduce yourself. And you guys all play such versatile instruments. You're so talented musically. So just kind of go around introducing yourself.
Cool. My name is Chad Michael Jervis. I sing and I play guitar in King Calaway.
I'm Simon Dumas. I sing and play guitar in King Calaway.
Whoa,
it's like
me too.
It's like that Spider-Man meme. We're both like, wait a second. Anyways, whatever.
I'm Chris Deaton. I play drums in King Calaway.
I play lead guitar. My name's Caleb Miller. And we all sing.
Nice. And Simon, you have an accent.
I do.
Okay, where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from Gibraltar. It's like a little British overseas territory in Spain. So it's kind of like the Puerto Rico to America thing, where it's like Gibraltar is British, but it's in Spain, so it's blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so how'd you get into country music?
Yeah, honestly, I put a TikTok about this. You asked it in a slightly different way. Usually people are like, how does someone like you know about country? And I'm like,
how'd you find out?
The internet. But I guess I just grew up loving bands like the Eagles, bands like America, and then just kind of loved the storytelling that I found in country music. There's a lot of country music happening in England, and so I was kind of just drawn to like the sonics of like real acoustic guitars, vocalists, and so that's kind of what drew me to Nashville.
Very cool.
It's been 3 years now.
Wow, since you moved to Nashville?
Yeah.
And where is everyone else from? From Nashville?
I'm from Nashville.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Nice. And I heard that your dad is actually the executive producer of the CMAs.
He is, yes.
So cool, you guys. He does CMAs, CMA Fest, and all that. What is like your fondest memory from growing up around the CMAs?
Oh man, yeah, it was. I used to sleep on he gets a bus like with the crew and everything. So yeah, I was like 5 years old, spending the night with him on the bus, backstage, always running around. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's
so
just being there.
Like,
yeah.
I guess just being around, seeing how it works, how fast they move, and how fast everything gets torn down. It's a lot of fun to watch.
So you've clearly been in the music industry for a very long time, or around it.
Around it, yeah.
Around it.
And he started with music videos, so I was always on set. I'd be like an extra if I could, and yeah.
And so did you always think you wanted to be in a band?
Yes.
Up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always around it and everything, but I fell in love with the music side. So
Nice. Yeah. Nice. And then when did you move to Nashville?
3 years ago as well.
And where are you from?
Ohio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you guys are all from different places. You're from Nashville though, but how did you guys come together as a band? I'd love to know how King Calaway started.
Yeah. So there's 2 jokes I could give you. One is someone from Gibraltar, Nashville, Ohio, and Delaware all walk into a bar. There's that joke. Or there's the one where we all, Tinder or whatever, we found each other on that. But the real story is we had some mutual contacts and friends in the music industry. So I really randomly knew One Direction's musical director because he was like a tutor at my college in England. And he just sent me an email one day being like, dude, call me first thing in the morning, something potentially great for you. So I'm like, didn't sleep all night. And I call him the next day, he's like, what's up, mate? I'm like, bro, what do you mean, what's up, mate? Biggest opportunity of my life, remember? And so he was just like, oh, no, just like this little thing. There's, these guys in Nashville who I think you'd be great, like if you met up with them and kind of worked with them. And so through like just mutual friends in the industry, we kind of came to Nashville for a weekend, played music together,
Wow.
And then
I
here we
didn't
are.
hate him, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like took about an hour to just work out. No one hated each other. That was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually asked a question to this, the band that I had on yesterday. Do you guys ever like fight or anything? And how do you like really communicate with each other?
Oh, therapy.
Chad does it very loudly. Chad screams all the time.
I'm
He's
a loud
talker.
guy.
So-
If I feel something passionately about
Like
something,
8 hours in a tight van, it's a long time.
Oh man, 8 hours.
I think my defense mechanism is just like shut down. Like, no, don't say a word. Like, try and retreat as much as I can. Leave the room. But
We were on the road last weekend, and I was like, Simon, why do you always have your AirPods in? Your noise-canceling AirPods. He's like, so I don't have to talk to you. I'm like, what a jerk.
But I feel like you have to like have that alone time. Like you can't always talk to each other. You know what I mean? Like that's really hard. That's really hard.
But having said all that, I think we get along pretty great.
We
for the
do.
most
Yeah.
part. And like, there's I'd say a lot of mutual respect, especially like in the band room when we're making like creative decisions. We really hear each other out because we know that, you know, we just respect each other. So.
Yeah. Speaking of creative decisions, do you guys write all your songs and do you write them together?
We like usually like for like this most recent EP, like Simon and I have some songs on there, and like we've all written a bunch of songs recently, and we still like look at outside cuts as well because we always want like the best song to like, if there's a song that we could do really well, no matter if we wrote it or if someone else wrote it, like we want to pursue that. And so like we went to Asheville, North Carolina back in February with a bunch of songs that we had either written or a couple songs that had been pitched to us, and we just recorded a bunch, and we had an incredible time. And then 4 of those songs ended up on the EP that was released in August.
cool.
Yeah.
So cool. And then you guys also, you don't have any other real like studio work behind it. Like you guys are really playing every single instrument. So explain to me that process too of like recording the actual songs.
Well, Paul Franklin's playing steel, and he's incredible.
Yeah.
But everything else you hear, we played it.
Wow.
And it's the same thing what Simon was talking about. It's really easy. You know, we trust each other. So when we get in the band room and kind of like fish things out, I feel like it's effortless. Like it's great. Yeah.
I always get a bit scared because like, we're like all like set in the live room of the studio, and then Justin, our producer's like, "All right, ready to do this?" And I'm like, "Oh man, this is so scary."
What is gonna happen?
And then like because we're all playing at the same time, like he kind of after a take will be like, "Any confessions? Like, did anyone mess up
And I'm
big
like,
time?"
yeah,
And
I
I'm
was
like,
having
yeah.
that
Let's
whole
hit
time,
that. Let's hit that second verse like 100 more times.
Well, that is really hard because there's like, you know, 4 of you guys, like to all be in sync at the same time and be like, you know, your best selves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is tough.
But what's really helpful is that like when you're like nowadays a lot of people will just do instruments like one by one. You'll start with drums, then you go to bass, and then you go to guitars and vocals. But like what is really cool about doing it all at the same time is you're all in the same room, you're all looking at each other.
Cool. So you feel each other's vibes as well.
And it feels live.
Vibes
So,
for days. So
like-
much vibes.
If you come,
So much vibes.
But if you
the
come and see us
vibes.
live, though, it feels, you know, kind of like how the record sounds if you're listening to it in your car, because we're all actually playing together at the same time. It's great.
Wow. And speaking of live music, you guys are about to go on tour with Scotty McCreery.
Yeah.
So cool, you guys.
exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you very
freaking
much.
awesome. You start in, I would say, when this comes out, I'd say like almost in a month.
Yeah.
So how are you preparing for your kind of first ever tour?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Buying some boots. We gotta
buying
go buy
some
some
Buy
boots.
some boots.
Yeah.
We're
Just
gonna
buying a
go-
bunch of clothes, basically.
You guys should buy these white cowboy boots.
Yeah, those are pretty
Oh,
sick.
white cowboy boots.
No preparation with music. We're just going to buy boots and play.
Right, those out.
Well, we're like opening. So I think we're doing like more of an acoustic, like stripped down thing, but we really want to be intentional about making sure the audience can like feel the energy of like a full band despite, you know, maybe not having a full drum kit.
Right.
So honestly, that's kind of exciting, being like, how can we arrange these songs to still have a lot of energy and power, like with just a couple of acoustic guitars and stuff. I'll probably download some books on my Kindle. The new Narcos season is out. We'll download that. I don't know.
What is it?
Narcos.
Narcos? Yeah. All
I
the
thought you said that. I didn't even accent.
Bake Off, I don't know. Just download some stuff.
Yeah, just a bunch of Netflix and HBO Max.
Have you thought about what you're wearing? Because I know sometimes, like, for girls, they either have it a set outfit, like I don't want to say costume they wear every single show, though, or are you guys going to change up your outfits every time?
Well, I feel like we always have to text each other before we do anything because, like, we have to worry about not showing up wearing all the same stuff.
Same color.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but normally it's like same day kind of deal. Like, even before we came here, we were like, this is what I'm doing.
Are you guys just in a group chat together?
Oh, yeah.
I just told him, I was like, guys, all black today. All black with the
Who
white
ranks
hat.
the most in the group chat?
I feel like I do, and then no one replies.
No.
That's the freaking worst.
I'm gonna completely contest that. I feel like I write stuff and everyone just hits me with a thumbs up.
See, that's a reply for me.
That drives me
like,
And I just sit back and watch. Like they'll be in a conversation. I'm just like, and I'll be like, cool.
the worst is when you have something super funny. You're like, oh, I'm killing it right now. I'm gonna send this picture, and then no one replies. Like, guys, I've laughed about this for 2 hours.
And you know if you sent that individually, they'd reply.
Exactly,
It's like, because
yeah.
it's a group chat, no one's replying.
It's so
I go either way too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate someone who writes in the group chat a lot. And then when I'm the one writing in a group chat a lot and no one's replying, I'm like, what the heck, guys?
We have this thing that we always do, like, if somebody says something serious, like, hey, I think we should do this, whether it's direction or music, we always laugh at it.
Yeah.
Dumb idea.
That's how you know, like, I agree with you, but haha.
Yeah.
So savage. Who's the biggest prankster and like the funniest guy in the band, would you say?
I think we're equally hilarious.
We're pretty funny guys.
Yeah, I'd say you scare us all the time. Like if we're coming around the corner, he'll scare you.
Oh yeah, there's that video
course.
where we were at in like
When do we
Minneapolis.
scare-
It was
Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Oh my
Like you
gosh.
scared me like coming out of the stall of the bathroom.
Oh my
And you
God.
filmed it in slow mo, so my reaction is just like I look like I'm having a heart attack like 10 times.
So I guess Caleb.
I guess.
Caleb. All right, who posts the most on social media?
Not me.
Simon does really good.
Yeah, I'd say him
very
too.
bad, notoriously.
We are bad at our.
I mean, well, everyone
like,
has their own talents. Like, you don't have to be good at posting on social media if you're a good musician. You know what I mean?
Tell it to them.
Tell
I'm trying to say that.
Exactly. We're doing okay.
We do well.
Yeah.
I think all of us are a little self-conscious to not put too much of ourselves. And
Yeah.
so we end up
Okay.
not putting enough of anyone. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, ooh, if I put two pictures of me in a row, then it's like maybe me acting like I want to make it about me, but then they do the same. And so we're all like, we try to shift responsibility and then
Right.
no one kind of...
Yeah.
Is that fair to
makes
say?
sense.
No,
Yeah.
that's very accurate. I would say.
Yeah.
Interesting. And okay, so you guys have actually done some really, really cool shows in the past. You've done Grand Ole Opry. So I'm saying it right. I'm not from
Yeah.
Nashville,
Y'all.
which is really, really big.
Yeah.
You've done Jimmy Kimmel,
Yes.
right? Oh my gosh, do you guys get nervous for those types of things? Like that is so big.
I would say, yeah, absolutely. Like you still get the jitters, but once you finally get up there and you start, like when you start practicing for it and then you start playing, it's like, oh, like this is what I usually do.
I never think that. I'm
No.
nervous until we're done.
never-
It's like, oh my
I feel
god.
like in those moments,
maybe-
like kind of black out.
Yeah. Except now, any other show except for the Grand Ole Opry. I feel like now,
Yeah.
like the first time I was a wreck, but now after like 10 times, it feels like home.
Yeah.
It's like one of like the warmest crowds. Like you
Right.
go out, you know everyone's just like on your side. Not that people aren't in other shows, but it feels like super welcoming. I remember like when we did James Corden, I was like super nervous, but I suddenly felt this really like, right
Yeah.
before we were walking out, I was like, I feel like I'm walking out on like my high school Christmas concert again. Like it all
Yeah.
felt like really like
Right.
full circle, and I was just like, whoa, it's like the same kind of nerves, but it's like the journey has actually been like.
I would say the most nervous with Garth was Garth Brooks. Like that was
Tell me about that.
most memorable show of like not just in King Calaway, but for all of our individual careers as well. Like it's like US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, like 70,000 people. That was one where like you don't really feel it until you're walking out
my
like in the
gosh.
tunnel and you see all the people and you're like, oh, like this is actually happening. Like there's a crap ton of people out here.
That was exactly it for me. I remember like being super nervous in the tunnel.
Yeah.
But when we got on stage, I started crying. Like
Yeah.
the
That's so
entire like first three.
sweet.
It wasn't sweet. It was so embarrassing. It was like I was bawling my eyes out.
I think the best part though is like we were right behind the stage, like in the tunnel waiting to go, and we were about to go on stage, and Garth is there, just in like a ball cap and like shirt and jeans. And he's like, I need a mic real quick. I'm like, are you gonna, like, what's going on? Are you singing with us? Like, what's going on? We haven't, I know, are we doing this? And the announcer like introduces him on stage and he goes out on stage, the crowd goes nuts and he introduces us to like, to
He's
play.
never done that
And
in his
he-
career. Ever.
No
Yeah.
way. What
Yeah.
a sweetheart.
It was like, it was and we didn't know
That's
that
so
was gonna
surreal.
happen. It was just, to add to it, like added so much nervousness
Yeah.
on top of it, but at the same time, it was just and a legend is up there just like introducing you. That's the most incredible feeling ever.
It's probably such a surreal experience. Like, holy shit, this is all really coming together. Like,
Exactly.
this could really be it.
And he
Which
got
is-
everybody on our side. He goes, hey, I like these guys. Like,
So I like him
it's
too.
great.
So like him too.
Exactly.
But yeah, and like, you know, when you've like been to concerts at stadiums and you always like look up and see everyone, but it was like really weird being on stage and seeing that, and you're like, whoa, everyone's like looking at the stage right now.
Exactly.
But we played Seven Bridges Road, and everyone who was seated at that point like stood up and like,
Wow.
like, you know, the camera thing with the light, and it was just like, it just kind of felt like the whole stadium like was suddenly like super present for that moment and like cheering us on, and yeah,
We
it was
peaked.
so memorable that
Wow.
I
What'd you
barely
say?
remember it, but we
I
peaked.
said early. Yeah,
Yeah.
we peaked. It doesn't get any better than that.
Since then, it's been like,
Stop it.
no, but it's great.
In the future, besides Garth Brooks, who would be your dream person to perform with? Let's manifest it right now.
I love Brothers Osborne.
Yeah.
I
love
so
them.
fun.
Yeah.
And I think we just like, it's very similar. Zach Brown Band.
Yeah.
Who
I
else?
would go with those. I'll go with Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would honestly love to play with like Casey Musgrave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Maren
I
Morris or
love
something.
her.
That'd be
Oh, Maren Morris.
sick.
Okay, wow, great choices, you guys. I'm like, oh, I know all these people. Okay, I'm gonna kind of like switch topics now. We're gonna talk about dating and relationships.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, because like songwriting and love songs, a lot of the time it has to do with dating and relationships. I know you're married.
Yes.
So are you the only one in a relationship?
No. I'm the only one married, though.
Married. Okay.
This guy's committed.
Who's single?
He's not
Who's
even
in a
wearing his ring.
relationship?
Single over
Chaz
here.
the single guy.
I'm the single one here, yes.
He's the best looking one too, so it's good.
Are you dating?
you. I mean,
He doesn't know what's going on.
listen, there's a whole story. It's complicated now. A little, just like a little bit, you know, just you
Yeah,
know.
I feel like it'd be very hard, especially right when you're taking off in your career, you're about to go on tour. How are you going to really like make sure you're keeping your relationship really healthy when you're on tour? Is there anything that you guys are gonna work on?
Yeah, I think like something that's worked for me and my girlfriend is like making sure, like trusting each other that like, you know, we've got our schedules, we're busy, but even if it's like a voice memo or a phone call at the start and at the end of the day, kind of hearing each other's voice, I think super helps rather than just like texting. So that's good. And then just, yeah, as much as you can, keeping that person in the loop so they don't feel like super isolated from everything. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, communication, super important. And especially when you're like, me and my girlfriend do distance, so she's still in Ohio, I'm here. So it's kind of, the road life isn't too different, like we're still doing that distance, but it's just, yeah, communication and staying in touch with each other and putting a lot of effort in. It takes a lot of effort when there's that distance, so
Yeah.
it's just important to do that.
Yeah, and my wife travels just as much as I do for her work, so like we kind of see both sides of it. Like I'll be at home and then she's gone for a while, and then same thing. So it kind of helps us like be in each other's shoes, and you know what I mean? It just helps a
Totally.
little bit.
Can you
yeah.
tell everyone what your wife does?
Oh yeah, she is a model and dancer.
So
She'll
cool.
actually be at the awards tonight. She's the trophy presenter. So
So freaking awesome. I'm so excited to see her. I actually have a question for you because this is also kind of personal to me as well. Like I grew up with my parents in the industry that I'm in as well. So do you ever face any pressure? Like, you know what I mean? Like I have to succeed because, you know, my dad is also in the music industry. Or do you have-
yes.
Yes.
For a long time, it took me like, I didn't perform well live for a very long time because like even at the very start, I'm thinking like they think I'm here because of this. And so then it's like I feel a lot of pressure. It helps to get with people that you feel very comfortable with. So this is like the best situation I could be in.
Yeah, and it's such a weird thing because you care about what other people think, but it's like, wait, I grew up around this. Of course I'm gonna do this because this is,
Yeah.
you know, what I grew up around. And people put this like more pressure on you, but it's really just you putting pressure on yourself. It's not.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
you
Yes.
thinking that other people think that way.
Exactly.
It's a
Yeah.
mental block, like you're crushing it in your bedroom, but then it takes some time to, you know, be able to perform live. Yeah.
Right. And is he so proud of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Oh. Okay, well, so now I have a game to play with you guys because we're wrapping up in a little bit. This is a little bit of a.
Can't even say
Well, you guys are like all in relationships. I know you're single, but at the same time, like just take it with a grain of salt.
All right.
It's never have I ever. If everyone could put up 3 fingers.
All right.
And I have a
Oh,
boyfriend
no.
too. I talk about like me hooking up with people on the show, and I have a boyfriend, and I love him so much. I just want to say that. Okay, never have I ever slept with someone in a band.
Wait, what do I do if I?
If you have, you put a finger down.
you put a finger down. Oh. And like so like in a band like saying like just like someone who plays
Who
in
else?
a,
Yeah,
someone who
yeah.
plays in the band.
I just put a finger
It's
down.
going through his mind.
I'm literally going through my mind. I'm like,
That's terrible.
no.
All right. I'm the only one, you guys. I might lose first. I've never gotten way too drunk at a wedding.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I got
I
like my cousin got married when I was like
When I was like 12.
Dude, I was 16 years old. I was 16 years old, and like it was an open bar, and my cousins were like getting me shots, and like we're like our grandfather had passed away a few years before. He was like to pat, everybody. And so like my parents were like, "Are you drunk right now?" And I was like,
Wasted.
"Yeah, I'm wasted. It's a pat, mom."
All right, never have I ever been cheated on. Well, I lost, but I'll pretend.
Sorry, this is getting.
No. It's getting dark, you said? Never have I ever dated a friend's ex. Oh, Chad.
Yeah, in high school, yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
Never have I ever stood someone up on a date. Also done that. Okay. Never have I ever dumped someone over text.
No.
Oh, you guys are really nice.
I can't hold these things up.
I'm like exhausted over here.
Never have I ever been kicked out of a bar.
No. I'm surprised, but no.
Who gets the drunkest out of y'all?
I would say me, probably.
Yeah. I think
that's
I've had the drunkest one though.
Yeah.
At Live at the Vineyard. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Do you guys drink before your shows? Sorry, off topic here, but do you drink a little alcohol?
A little.
Just like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
Calm
just some.
nerves.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I feel like more than that is just like I will always get like in my head like if I have like a little bit too much like before a show and it doesn't turn out well.
We're all happy though so getting kicked out of stuff, like I feel like we get happy when we're happy drunks.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
nice. That is nice.
We never get angry.
Never have I ever forgotten a lyric to my own song on stage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. We got two losers.
Even worse, at a radio station. Like we were performing live on the air and I just totally forgot.
Bro, so funny. We were doing like the gig recently as well. We were doing I'm Feeling Good. And I always start that song and I'm just like, Say, what's going on?
That would be my worst nightmare. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's
Oh my gosh.
that's the great thing about no one knowing the band. If it's the first time they're hearing the song, you just
That's
they're
true.
like,
That's
They don't
just
know.
how the
they're
song
like, oh
goes.
great,
They don't
this
know.
song starts on the third word.
Be grateful for that because that's not gonna be the case much longer, you guys. Where can everyone find you and listen to your music?
At King Calaway on all the social medias.
Calaway with one L.
With one L, three A's, and
One C, 3 A's, 1 L.
Go figure it out.
go figure it out. And then we're streaming everywhere you stream and where you buy your music, you can find it there. King Calaway.
Yeah.
And touring soon. And you guys,
touring in
Midnight
January.
EP. Come on, pump your guys
What else we
up.
got? Midnight EP.
Yeah, so Midnight EP, TikTok, Instagram, all that fun stuff, King Calaway. We're probably gonna put out some new music top of the year, like January, before we hit the road with Scotty.
Yeah.
If you want to just DM Scotty tons and tell him to give us 5 more minutes, that would be great.
Hell yeah. Done. Next question.
That's pretty much all we have. Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
All she wrote. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I'm so freaking excited to
Thank
just
you.
watch your career blow up from here and keep listening to your music.
Thanks so much for having us.
Awesome.
so much.
Bye, guys. I'll see you next week.